All right, so before we get going, I want to give you a little update. So I want to thank everybody who put it down in the comments that said that they would rather me close my video out the way that I always do. That's kind of my choice too. I don't like the abrupt endings that some of these folks are doing, and I don't need to game the system. We'll just grind our way to 100,000 subs the old-fashioned way. You just keep sharing me and pushing me out and sharing me with your friends. Give me the likes, and I think everything's going to work out. And if you haven't subscribed, you're just tuning into this video, do me a favor, give me a subscribe. You can do it right now. And then by the end of the video, if you don't like me, you can unsubscribe to me. I hope you don't, because sometimes I put out bad videos. I'll try to put out good ones. I'll work hard every day to try to put out a good video, but if I get a bad one from time to time, you're just going to have to overlook it. So hit the subscribe right now. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back in the home bee yard, and we are going to be doing the same thing to these girls that we did to the Bee Castle bees yesterday. Well, for me it was yesterday, for you it was last week, and that is I'm going to be inspecting these hives and giving each one of these girls a handful of pollen sub and some probiotic to make sure that they're in good shape to go into the winter. Now, if you remember the last time we were in this bee yard, these bee barns were pretty weak. We actually lost the green bee barn. They absconded, and boy, do I ever wish I had that queen now, because hive 6 at the Bee Castle yard I think is queenless. That's neither here nor there. The army hive is now living on top of the green bee barn, and if you remember, there was no drawn out foundation in the bottom here. I've been giving them a lot of sugar syrup. I've got another 2 gallons I'm going to give them today, but my goal is to try to get these girls to get this drawn out and moved in before winter really sets in. So there you go, there you have it. Anyways, let me get my smoker lit, my gear on, and we'll get started. All right, so while we're getting started, I want to tell you a little story really quick about hive beetles. Now, yesterday for me, last week for you, I caught a bunch of hive beetles in the Bee Castle bee yard. I do have the Beetle Sucker 5000 with me. We're going to use it again today. But I want to tell you something I learned about hive beetles, and I'll tell you that while I'm lighting the smoker so that we can get 2 things done at one time. When I came home, I did what I always do. I take my hive beetles and I put them in a Tupperware filled with soapy water and kill them. Try to kill them, thinking that I'm killing them. And then after they've been in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, all soapy and been buried in the water and just kind of floating around there like they're dead, I'll take them out, strain them, put them on a napkin, and take a picture of them. I took a picture, I'll show it to you on the screen, of the beetles with the Beetle Sucker 5000. Anyways, I thought I was going to show my wife when she got home what my beetle take was, so I just kind of left that pile of beetles on the counter next to the Beetle Sucker 5000. And about 20 minutes later, I walked by, and all the beetles have tucked themselves up underneath of the Beetle Sucker 5000. They were alive. Do beetles not drown? Do they not need air? I have no idea. But these little buggers are harder to kill than I thought. Now, I know they fall into oil traps, and we can kill them that way. But soapy water, they were underwater for 10, 15 minutes. I mean, and they weren't moving, they were dead. I dumped them out, they weren't moving, they were dead. I think they were playing dead. I don't think hive beetles breathe. I mean, you can tell me different, I'm sure they breathe, but I don't understand it. I've never seen anything like it. I'm gonna have to come up with a more surefire way of disposing of these guys, because what I've been doing is I've been putting them in the Tupperware, letting them sit in soapy water for 10, 15 minutes. Then I would take the picture of them, and then I would just take that Tupperware full of water and beetles and I'd throw it in the backyard. Well, every beetle that I captured at the Bee Castle bee yard, I've brought home and now dumped them to my yard, and if the soapy water's not killing them, yeah, it could be a problem. That's probably why I had so many beetles on my feeder, my open feeder the other day. I mean, you tell me. How do you kill these things? I don't know, but I've never seen anything drown and then come back to life 10 minutes later. I've never seen it happen. Apparently the beetles can do that. Also, let me know if you're a entomologist and you know things about bugs. How is it that these beetles can not breathe for 10, 15 minutes and then still live? I mean, that's nuts to me. But let me know, put it in the comments. I'm sure you will. I would really appreciate it. I've never seen anything like it. I promise we're getting there. We're getting into this hive. It's happening. It's happening right now. Oh, I have some hive beetles in here. They are in the lip of the bucket feeder. Yeah, right. You know what they're going to get? They're going to get the Beetle Sucker 5000 here. All right, our first take of the day. Yippee! Now, something else I've noticed, there's a lot of yellow jackets lately. Okay, they've finished that bucket. Let's see how your buildup is going. Okay. Okay. Okay, they've been packing the sugar syrup. There's a beetle. Gave him the old... Oh, there's a bunch of beetles. Let me get the beetle sucker out. That was quite a few hive beetles. You know, that stinks, but there we go. Beetle Sucker 5000 is doing its job. I'm going to leave it sit here for a second. Well, you know what? I'll set it over here. All right, let's see what we can see on the next frame. If there's any beetles, we're going to go ahead and grab them. Okay, this is... We have some capped honey there. This hive is not doing well. All right. Come on, Sage girls. You girls were a very strong hive early in the year. What do you have? There's more hive beetles. Son of a gun. Ah. Come on. So they do have a little bit of brood there. Still a bad pattern. I expected with the pollen sub and the sugar syrup, I'd be getting a little bit better results. Okay, there's girls right there. All right. Well, we're putting this back in. Probiotic. And there's some pollen sub. Next hive. I'm having the worst time today keeping my smoker lit. Everything's wet, it's windy outside. Holy moly. Definitely not the day to be going through bees, but I got to get this done. This should be fairly quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, these girls are killing it. Yeah, this hive, you know what? I'm not even going to go through it. If they have any beetles, they are going to be taking care of them. I'm going to give them some pollen sub and move on. There you go. All right. I will bring you another bucket of syrup. All right, here we go. Let's see how these girls are doing. Oh, just broke open some honey. That's not a good plan. Let's see, how are we doing in here? Any beetles? I see a beetle already. Walking, oh, I see a couple of them. All right, well, we're gonna get the beetles really quick. All right. That was a good take. I need to see some brood, ladies. Okay, there's a little bit. We have some brood, finally, right there. Okay. Okay, we have brood on this side as well. Okay, there you go. All right, what do we have here? Okay, Juno looks strong. Hello, girls. Okay, Juno is killing it. And I don't see any hive beetles on this frame. This is a very, very, very heavy frame. Yeah, she's doing a good job there. All right, set this aside for right now. Let's have a look here. Now Juno is doing what Juno does. She's getting angry. They're already mad. We're just going to take a quick look. There's some brood. Okay, she's doing a good job. We have a little patch of brood here, but look how tight that pattern is. And if you look on the other side, she's doing the same thing. We're going to go ahead and let Juno. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, she's got a full frame of brood next. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and close it up. We're gonna give her her pollen sub and her probiotic, and let her go. We're not gonna stay a lot of time in here. I didn't see any hive beetles. That's really what I was after. I guess they couldn't get in, but she seems to be in good shape. All right, and she's getting angry for you. There's that. Here's a handful of happiness. Handful of happiness. There you go. Let's go to the army hive and see what's happening in there. This is the one I've been waiting on. Let's make this happen. All right. And no, they still have some syrup in there. They have about a gallon left. Holy moly, they have plenty. I'm not going to go through these hives. I'm going to break them off. I really want to see what's happening down in the bottom. and I don't want these girls to get robbed out. We'll look in the top if we have to. This hive was in good shape for being 2 mediums. I mean, you can see it right here. This thing is slamming with bees. Let's move it. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if these girls are drawing any of this out, or whether or not that queen is actually laying down in these 2 middle frames that have foundation on them. Not a lot happening here. Just gonna go ahead and move that. Going to the next one. Not a lot happening here. We're gonna move that. Next one we're going to move over. Now here's the thing. I can smell the paramoth that I put on this frame, but it doesn't, there's a hive beetle, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the bees. They're still all over this comb. All right, but what's happening here? Okay, they're fixing this comb up. They're starting to use it. I see sugar syrup in it. There's a beetle. Oh, you're not gonna be allowed to stay there, Mr. Beetle. Let's look at this other one, and then we're gonna put this hive back together and give them some food. They're not drawing anything out yet. I guess that was kind of a pipe dream. Okay, we have a lot of activity up here. I don't see any hive beetles on this. That's good. There's a lot of activity there. It's like they're cleaning up and finishing this comb up here on the top. They're getting it ready for a queen. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're going to go ahead and put this together and get out before they get completely overrun. The robbers are out today. As you can tell by looking down here at the bottom, the robbers went in. I tell you what, I've also got girls all over the pollen sub back there, and I've really never had good luck open feeding pollen, but yesterday at the Bee Castle yard and today here, I've got girls all over the pollen sub, which means they want it, so we'll give it to them. Last but not least, we're going to go to the red hive on the end. Now this bee yard has changed quite a bit since the last time you saw it. I'm moving things around and you're about to see that. Okay, I'm gonna help these girls out really quick. This hive, if you can tell, look, they're all trying to get in there. They're trying to rob this out. I'm gonna go ahead and choke it off just for a little bit, not the whole hive. I'm gonna leave them a 2 bee entrance, which should be fine. They should be able to guard that. And the reason I say that is because with a robbing situation going on in this hive, and all of the girls up here and nobody really down here guarding the door, I want to make sure that they're able to defend that. So there's a small opening. 2 to 3 bees can get through there at a time. I think they can handle guarding that, but look at all these robbers around here. Look at them all. There's some fighting going on down here in the bottom. Yeah, they're blasting away at each other. It's not good. It's not good because this, even though this hive is strong up here, it's weak down here. All right, let's go to the red hive. So if you notice, we have a lot of space here. The red hive is up here all alone. What I'm going to do, this is my plan. I'm going to move the red hive down next to the army hive. I'm going to put Langstroth boxes right here and keep the bee barns down on that side because that side gets the sun first and it gets the most sun. So hopefully that will help control the hive beetles. And what happened to these hives? Well, one of them went over to the Bee Castle yard. 2 of them went back to my wife. She's got Navy Hive is moving back there. Army Hive moved on top of the green bee barn. So I'm left with room for 1, 2, 3 more hives. And that's not going to happen until next season. But next season I am going to put 3 more 10-frame Langstroth here, not the 8-frame variety. That will give me more 8-frame equipment for the bee barns as they need to be super, because every year I run out of supers on the 8-frame. So if I move these into 10-frame boxes, I think that's going to change a lot in the home apiary, provided I don't lose a lot of bees this year, because it looks like Sage may not make it. Let's go through this red hive really quick. See, the problem up here is I have nowhere to put the Beetle Sucker 5000. It really needs to be kept like this because there's a little trap door down on the bottom that has to uses gravity to shut, and it keeps the beetles from climbing out. I I really need to put a spring on that trap door that actually pulls it shut the minute the vacuum shut off. I think I'll make a project out of that. We'll see. Hello. Oh, well, I guess we're just going to go right off with all of it. Okay, I got a spider web on me. Last thing I need is a spider web on me when I'm picking up bees. I don't want to feed the spiders. Well, that's actually not true. I did actually lure a bee into a spider web up there on the porch because the spider looked hungry. So I did do that. Put a little honey behind the, oh, look at that. We have brood on the first frame. Look at that. Nice brood pattern. Oh, a lot of beetles down there, though. Let's get them. Let's get them. Bug Farmer 50, Hive Beetle 0. Look at that. We got them. Oh, there's one. Hiding. I see it. Oh, another one. Another one. Go, Bug Farmer. Woo! We got them. We are the champions, my friends. We'll suck up hive beetles till the end. Ooh, goodness. See a little bit of fighting happening on top of the hives. Oh, more hive beetles. Oh, goodness. All right. All right, got 4 more. It's crazy that I'm seeing the hive beetles on the brood frames. That is unusual. Bees usually do not allow that. So this is right here. I'm going to leave both Apiary strips right on those, in between those 2 brood frames. That's where they're doing the most good. Oh, there's one right there. It's getting the old Thumb Smasher 3000. Wait a second, I've already used 3000. That's the Thumb Smasher. We'll just call that the Thumb Smasher. It got the Thumb Smasher. We don't have to name that. That's a phalange. We'll call that the phalange smasher. Well, then again, is a thumb a phalange? I mean, is it a finger or is it a thumb? I guess that's a question for the ages. As far as I can tell, we have 1 hive beetle in this hive. That's the one that just fell in. I think they can chase 1 hive beetle around. It'll give them something to do, some calisthenics. There you go, girls. All right. Put a probiotic for you. There you go. And a little bit of this. There you go. All right, so before I sign off, I'm going to share with you what it is I'm putting on the hive, what this probiotic is. Now, the pollen sub is just standard pollen sub, but this probiotic, it's called Super DFM, and it's 100 applications. This is a honeybee supplement of live microorganisms. So I think this will make my bees very, very happy. I'll let you have a look at the label there. And I will put a link in the description if it's something you're interested in doing. It's not really a medication, it's more of a vitamin, but I want to give it to these girls before we head into winter. Now, of course, they're saying, give it to your girls every 30 days. Well, you know, I'm not going to spend that kind of bread. It's not the cheapest stuff in the world. It's not super expensive, but I think it will help my girls to get healthy going into winter, especially in some of these weaker hives. It looks like we have a robbing situation happening here as well. So with all of that said, I want to take this opportunity to say goodbye, as most of you have requested. A lot of you were indifferent, but most of you said, hey, say goodbye, so I'm going to say goodbye. We did manage to get through all of the hives today, with the exception of the navy hive and the purple hive. Now, those are my wife's hive, and she's going to do that on her channel. That's her world, but I can tell you what, those 2 hives are the strongest hives in the apiary. My wife's hives are better than mine. Well, I guess she's been giving them more attention while I've been off at the Bee Castle yard. She's been here, but it's neither here nor there. You'll have to watch her channel in order to see that. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. But we did manage to get through all of our work today. I got through every single one of these bee barns. The sage hive is kind of weak. The purple hive's kind of weak. There's not a lot of brood. It's not a lot happening that I thought would be happening after giving them all of that pollen sub and the feed last week. So I'm going to go up to the house after I'm done saying goodbye to you, and I'm going to grab a couple of buckets, put them on some of these hives, and make sure that they continue to get fed going into winter. I'm going to be changing to 2-to-1 food probably next week or the week after and really start pounding the food to them. So there you go, and there you have it. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. It does help. Whether you know it or not, the thumbs up help. They allow me to get pushed out to a lot of people out there, and that gives me more impressions, more views, more subs, and that helps me out tremendously. So I really want to thank you for giving me the thumbs up, if you will be kind enough to do that. Also, if you have something to say, by all means, please comment. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, again, subscribing to this channel helps me out because it brings more eyes to the channel. So if you can take a moment, hit the subscribe button, I would really, really appreciate it. So with all that said, be happy, and I will see you next week. Take care.